haven't, but that's the whole point. That, see, I think that kind of ties into Bo's point, is like the world telling them to shut up was a millennial and Gen X problem. Gen Z doesn't give a damn if you tell us to shut up. Gen Z is like, who are you to tell me anything? I'm going to scream even louder. You're not going to silence me. You're not going to stifle me. That's the point. You're talking about, is the world trying to shut them up? I never said the world wasn't trying to shut them up. But the question is talking about, will they shut up? No, they won't shut up. Even if you tell them to shut up, even if you're screaming at the top of your lungs that they're wrong, they don't care. That is something that is tied into Gen Z blood that they won't stop.
Fire generation of people, though. They can't even keep a job, so they might want to shut up. And that's for starters. We got to stop trying to coddle them. No, those are the most whiny group ever, is Gen Z's, and lower millennials, and it shows. And for anybody to say the single mothers are raising good children, it overwhelmingly shows that they are not. Okay.
Are we raising boys to be too soft or too silent?
Um, I don't think that they're too soft or too silent. I will say that as far as silence goes, um, social media is, at least in this day and age, an equally used space. As often as I'll see, a panelist of men on TikTok is as often as I'll see a panelist of women, vice versa on Instagram. So I think that everybody has something to say and is able to say it. I definitely, it depends on the definition of softness though, because what I do see a big difference in, that I know the older generation of men call soft, um, is like, for instance, a perfect example is that I'll get on social media and talk to 35 and under, and they believe in the 50-50. They believe in a woman bringing something to the table. They believe in, what do you have to offer? um if I buy you a gift, are you going to buy me a gift? And I do understand that a lot of older men see that as like them being softer, because 35 and up doesn't think that that's necessary. 35 and up doesn't necessarily advocate for a woman to go to work and not just sit around and do et cetera, et cetera. Now, as far as mental health, I kind of feel like the mental.
Okay, guys, let's get in this thing. Let's get at it. Because I don't know what this woman is doing. He asked, are boys being soft and silent? She went into a whole different thing and just started talking about what she wanted to talk about. So let's jump into this thing. This is about, are women having kids for clout? That's what this is going to be about. So let's jump back in here. Let's hear what the mess she got to say. But this is going to be a very interesting panel. You guys got to check out.
Health of younger men would be a little bit better, since they're more comfortable expressing their opinions, their feelings, what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I don't see a shortage of young men being like stifled in their feelings. Like, they'll get on there and they'll be like, I don't care if you think that that makes me a bitch that I'm on here yelling about my issues with women. I want to express it. I want to talk about it. I want to say what I got to say. So I don't really think that they're silenced or softer in that manner, because even this year, when it was Men's Mental Health Month, I saw that talked about a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot.
But then why are all the channels that talk about that kind of stuff demonetized and kicked off all the platforms? Like I've gone through 8 TikToks, 3 Instagrams demonetized on YouTube. You don't see that for like Call Her Daddy, which says openly like misandrous stuff, or other platforms that advocate for women's issues.
Now that there is true. That is so true. You can jump on something and see, the thing is, you ladies will go and get that channel demonetized. You try to get that channel canceled because you don't like what they're saying. And it's only reason you don't like it because it's talking about you.
So I disagree like wholeheartedly, because I've lived it, that it's the same. It's definitely not, because one is, and it makes perfect sense why they do it. They make more money off of women. We just buy damn near anything. So,
I mean,
but yeah,
that's coming from an economic standpoint or like a business standpoint, because it's not like the actual person that's trying to express themselves demonetize their own account. So we can't
yes,
say that
that no,
because
that's
the
no.
account gets demonetized, it's a
Well,
direct correlation of them being softer or being silent. No,
no,
they're talking about it.
but it shows that one society accepts one and not the other.
Correct.
So you know, it's like if you're paid to say misandrous things about men, and you literally make money off of doing it, which you see big content creators do that all the time, like Drew Afawala. I can't say her last name, but there's content creators like that make money. They're obviously going to do it more, right? I mean, when you're paid to do something, you do it more. One side is not paid, one side's paid. So
But
I just, yeah.
that has nothing to do with, are we as the parents raising our children to be soft or silent, and then do the children actually act soft or silent? That has everything to do with what the business and the company can make money off of. When you're talking
Mhm.
about
Well,
demonetization,
yeah, but
the question is
mhm.
are the children soft and silent? No, they're not. You just said that they're talking about it on the internet, but the internet is trying to shut them up, but they're not
Right, but
silent or soft.
correct. But it's not just the internet, and this does affect the kids.
Hold up. I think they're getting off track. He said children. Children, not grown people. It's children. Yes, the children are coming up soft and whiny. That's what they say. They talking a lot, but they're not saying anything. They don't have much to say but whine and complain about their way. I got to get my way. That's what he's talking about when he say soft. You can't control your emotions. You're out of control. Like a woman, soft. You get it? That's what it means. All this other stuff, adults got these podcasts and stuff. You don't see no kids with no podcast talking about nothing.
Kids too, because like, you know, the school system's 90% women, and so even if you teach, like, the boys are kind of, you know, guys are pragmatic. If they speak up and the teachers punish them, if they go on social media and they're punished there, then they go to college, they're punished there, they just shut up. So it doesn't really matter how you raise the kids, because if the world punishes them for talking, they're just going to be silent.
That's true.
So
I haven't, but that's the whole point. That, see, I think that kind of ties into Bo's point, is like the
well,
world telling them to shut up was a millennial and Gen X problem. Gen Z doesn't give a damn if you tell us to shut up. Gen Z is like, who are
Wait, look at her reactions when she's saying this. People don't give a damn. They ain't telling us to shut up. Look at her, a grown ass woman now. That's the problem. Nobody can tell y'all anything.
you to tell me anything? I'm going to scream even louder. You're not going to
There it
silence me.
is.
You're not going to stifle me. That's the point.
I
You're talking
disagree.
about, is the world trying to shut them up? I never said the world wasn't trying to shut them up.
I
But the question is talking about, will they shut up? No, they won't shut up. Even if you tell them to shut up,
They
even if
need
you're
to.
screaming at the top of your lungs that they're wrong, they don't care. That is something that is tied into Gen
They're,
Z
but
blood
they're
that
the
they won't
most
stop.
fire generation of people, though. They can't even keep a
Thank you,
job.
Miss Lady O.
So they might want to
well,
shut up. And, you know, that's for starters. We got to stop trying to coddle them. No, those are the most whiny group
Thank you.
ever, is Gen Zs.
Yes.
And lower millennials. And it shows. And for anybody to say the single mothers are raising good children, it overwhelmingly shows that they are not. Okay. Now, it also shows that poverty plays a huge role in how these same kids from these single mother homes are performing in life, you know. And to think that a woman should just have kids out of wedlock and just bring another man around because they can have a role model has nothing to do with the child's biological father. And that's sad that we are promoting this garbage, that a woman should just, oh, it's okay, she go out here and have kids by other men. Oh my God, just let her. So what? She's not married. Don't judge her and then get mad when another man, and then want another man to come around and be the kid's father. It doesn't work that way. There's something called DNA that
There it
child is
is.
going to emulate at some point in its life.
I know, but I'm
She made so much sense with that. Look at the two women up in the top left, right corner. They thought they were so right what they were saying. Dr. Lady O just shut them the F up because she know what she said is right.
Unfortunately, it does work that way because
Hold
women are just gonna keep
on.
doing it. They'll just
Hold on,
they'll do
Pearl.
it forever.
Hold on, Pearl.
Complaining.
I'm
Right,
sorry.
exactly.
I know they're just it's
Hold
never
on.
gonna
I'm
stop
not gonna let y'all misrepresent what I said.
ever.
No one ever
Exactly.
said that it was okay. No one ever said because y'all are you talking about me.
Wait a minute now, because she was agreeing with old girl a minute ago. Remember, she was all this shit. You remember? Oh now you don't. I didn't. Y'all no. You was down for it for a minute. They busted. Oh yeah.
I never said that it was okay. I
You
never said
glorifying
praise the
single
Father.
motherism
There it
as if
is.
they're
I
raising
never
Well,
abuse
I
glorified
wasn't talking about
children,
anything.
you,
endowed
but
children, and their
okay.
children
I
are coming
did
out to
not
be the worst
glorify
failure.
anything. I
Yes,
was
you
stating
did.
facts.
Yes, that's not a fact.
Stating
Show
facts
me a
is
fact where single
glorifying. You
mothers
know
are
what? I said I wasn't gonna do
overwhelmingly
this this week.
raising
You
better
got it.
children. Show me a stat where single mothers are overwhelmingly the better parent.
Yep, you
Show
got
me
it.
a
Cat fight.
stat.
You got it. No, you're right.
I
You
know
are
I'm
so right,
right.
Lady
I
O.
know I'm right.
And I'm gonna
I'm
give it to
very
you.
right.
You right about that.
I'm 100%
Yeah, I also agree. Women are terrible parents generally. I
horrible.
just
The
horrible
biggest
parents.
abusers, the biggest abusers.
Yeah, I actually think sometimes the kids are better off when the parents are divorced, but not because the women are better parents, but because then the kids get some peace and quiet at the dad's house, but only if there's like 50-50.
Right.
Like
Okay,
no nagging,
y'all
no
dragging it.
complaining,
Y'all
no
dragging it.
none of
Oh
that.
Lord,
Okay.
Lord.
It's
It's
Hold
drag
like
on.
now. We're
it's
not
like
gonna say
Hold
peace
all
on.
and
women.
quiet.
Let me say, hold on.
Are.
Let me say, I would say this because my kids were raised in a divorce home. The kids actually did better when they were with their father. That's just a fact. It's just a 100% fact. Even when it came
I
down to
agree with
discipline
that.
compared to when he disciplined, he didn't have to. I just talked to my kids. They're in their 30s.
Yeah.
He didn't have to discipline them the way I had to do it. His voice alone shut them down.
And it's
So
always going to be like that, right? Because a man's presence is different than a woman's presence. We are nurturers. The
Oh
way we
really?
handle things with our children are different. I don't think women as parents are
Well,
horrible.
if
As
women,
Pearl
but wait,
stated, hold
wait.
on,
If
Pearl, hold
women,
on,
but if
Pearl,
women
hold on,
are,
Pearl, hold
I
on,
gotta
Pearl. Let
come
me
in.
finish.
I gotta.
I
All
don't
right,
think
all right, all
women
right. I'll let you go.
are horrible parents. I think that single mother households struggle much more in raising their children. And the statistics do show that single parent households that are male leading are better. The kids end up better. And that's because the structure is different. We are here for the nurturing. That's why you need both.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But we're just not gonna drag it
I
and be like,
disagree. I'm gonna
all women
drag
are
it.
just
I'm gonna
terrible,
drag
girl.
it.
Girl,
I
when?
am gonna drag it because if women are so nurturing, why do we keep killing kids? Yup. Women
Damn.
have aborted an eighth of the world population. That doesn't sound super nurturing to me.
But would you rather women hold on? Women
why are the
abort
I
children
let
for
you finish.
multiple different reasons.
I let you
Go ahead.
finish. My
You
turn.
right.
All
They
right, all
quick to
right.
cut you
So
off.
and also women are more likely to abuse children. In fact, when there's child abuse, it is never the guy. Pretty much if it's a man, it's usually a guy that the woman brought in. Oh, the woman brings in the new boyfriend, he abuses the
Exactly.
kid. So
It's
that's
not the
still the
kid's
woman's
parent,
fault.
not the
This
kid's
idea that
father.
women are nurturing, well, what's your evidence for it? Other than we give birth, and anyone can do, like a dog can do that, a cat. So I don't think that makes us nurturing. I
It's in
just
our
don't see.
biological makeup that women are nurturing. And I'm not saying
Prove it.
all women are nurturing. Of course, there are bad women out there. And there are also fathers who abuse their children. So we're not going to only say that only
I
women
will
abuse
say,
their children.
I
That's
will
not a
say,
fact, though, Pearl.
I will
And then
say
you
that
put facts
most,
behind it. We're not
it
going to
is,
get on this platform and lie.
it is
We're
a
not going to
fact.
do
It
that.
is, no, but it is a fact that the majority of abuse is done by women. Like
Majority
imagine,
and all is two different things.
I know, but it's
Now the girl's not listening. She said the majority, and you said, yeah. If the majority is, then that means y'all abuse them more than the man. Not saying that the man don't or hadn't, but like she said, a lot of these times when you see it on the news and all this stuff with something happened to the child, it's by the woman who brought in somebody else that was not the child's father.
we never say it all. We never say it
it's
all.
No,
I
Pearl
never
did.
We
Lady O,
never say
Dr.
it
no,
all.
Lady
I
O,
actually
Pearl did.
didn't. I didn't, but I said the
You did. We
majority.
can run it back. You
I
said
said the
all women.
majority. Okay, are you trying to nitpick here? Or are you trying to
I'm not
understand what I'm
trying to
saying?
nitpick. I'm just saying you're making a statement that
Yeah, I
are
know, but you're
not
you're
sexual,
proving
and
my
you're
point even further
dragging
by the
it,
nagging.
and that's
And
probably why your platforms
the
get demonetized,
so
because you
I'm not
Oh,
lying. I'm
she's trying to
actually
throw a
objectifying
telling
them,
the
jab.
right?
I'm
When we
actually
should be
telling the
telling the
truth.
truth
I
instead of
am.
just saying that,
I
right?
mean
We're not going to just sit here and attack all women
one out of
when
three
that's not
women
true.
one out of
And
three
now I
women
wanted to
have
respond to the abortion thing.
one out of three women have killed a kid, and the majority of abuse is done by women. You're the one that's misrepresenting that by saying I'm lying, because that's true. The
What are you
majority
talking about?
it's
You said men never
the
abuse their children.
majority.
That's
They
a lie.
rarely they
She said pretty much never abused the kid. That's what she said. You trying to stay on this single point for what reason? The thing is, you yourself said the majority of the abuse is by women. So why are you still trying to argue one word when she said pretty much never? Come on, lady.
There are men that abuse
they
children too,
rarely
just like there are women
they're
that abuse children. And
they're
what we rather,
they're
if most women are so terrible and they're not nurturers, then why do we have a problem with them aborting children if they're not going to take care of
We
them
don't know why
correctly
y'all do
and
it.
just abuse them and kill them once they're in the
well,
world anyway? I
okay,
think if
thanks.
a
Good
woman
question.
decides that she is not
Good
prepared or
question.
ready, and we don't know her
Good
circumstances
question.
because anything could have happened,
Good
then she
question.
should terminate that pregnancy instead of bringing a
I'd
life into
prefer.
this world that she's not going to take care for,
How
So
about
I
you're
she
not
mean,
just
gonna let
not
her
get
talk.
when
pregnant?
nobody else is going to
How about
take
she just
care.
not get pregnant? How about she not get pregnant?
I'd actually
Why
prefer
she
she
gotta go
gives the
that far?
kid. I'd
You
actually
said, why she got to go
prefer.
that far
Why
I
not to
she
get
gotta get
pregnant?
pregnant?
It
Why
would
she
be
gotta
the
get
best
pregnant?
logical thing not to get pregnant, but
I
that's not
I
realistic,
would.
right?
It is
It would
real.
be the
If
best
we
It's
logical
pregnant
thing for
though,
these
if we
children
pregnant,
okay.
then so
to
yeah.
keep a
Okay.
job, but that's not realistic. That's not what's happening.
Okay. So
So what you saying that women can't control getting pregnant? That what TY form? I don't know what that for. What that supposed to mean? Dachi M. You're saying that women cannot control the outcome of getting pregnant, which I'm gonna disagree. You can control it. You just don't control it. And because you don't control it, yes, random stuff do happen like pregnancies. She'll prove this point in a minute.
I'd like to address a few things that you said. Could I do it without you interrupting me? Is that possible?
Let's see.
Is it possible? I'm just asking because otherwise I won't even go. You know what I mean? Okay. So when it comes to the abortion, I think it's actually very realistic to not get pregnant. And in fact, men have made it so easy to not get pregnant. Women said, I want to have casual sex. So the men said, here you go, here's condoms. And then the women said, no, I want to let him hit it raw. And they said, fine, do that. Here's plan B. They still couldn't do it. They're like, just take this pill the next day. Can you take it? And they're like, no, we can't do that. And so then they said, all right, here's an IUD, 99% effective. You shove it up there and then you're done. You don't have to worry about this. Can you do that? The women said no. They said, here's a pill. Can you take this pill daily? Can you do it? And the ladies are like, no, it's too hard. They said, okay, we've done all this research. Track your cycle. You can only get pregnant a few days of the month. And the women said, no, we can't do that either. They're like, here's an ovulation stick. You can even track when you're ovulating. Here, you can track it on your phone. Can you do that? And the women said, no, that's too hard. Here's a stick for your arm. You can shove this in your arm. Can you do that and not get pregnant? And the women still said no. They said, okay.
Look at the women faces.
Here's an abortion pill where you can just take the pill in the first month. Is that enough? Is that enough for you guys? And they said, no, that's still too hard. So, yeah, I actually think it's tough being a woman because my gender just lets me down a lot. You know what I mean? If we were so nurturing, we wouldn't raise such terrible kids. I don't really find women, someone said that women have kids to like put their trauma on them. And maybe that's somewhat true. I think women have kids more for the attention and the clout rather than like wanting to raise another human being, where the men are really good people. So and men don't abuse their children en masse. There are exceptions, yeah, but overwhelmingly the majority of the time, women are the ones abusing children. It's over 50% of abuse is done by women. If it's done by a man, it's usually a man the woman brought into the kid's life. So that's just a fact. And yeah, that's really all I got to say. So go ahead.
And that is it. Shut them up. You notice the men didn't say a word. Let the women talk. Let them talk. And they let Pearl eat their butts up. They couldn't say a word because everything she said was true. Oh, and let's not forget Dr. Lady O. Yes, everything they said was true. Facts are going to tell you the truth. And they told the truth. So guys, if y'all like this video, make sure y'all hit that subscribe, like, and share. And make sure you check out the next videos that pop up. And I'm up out of here. This was fun.